Hello and welcome to Homestead Imaginations. I am Josh, and today we are starting some more seeds in April. We got some tomatoes, some herbs, and rhubarb are what we got starting today. And my youngest he's picked for one of his plants this year is a cherry tomato. So these are seeds that we harvested from our own cherries that we got from a local nursery. So I don't even know what the variety is, but they're like the perfect little size. Like we like the really small cherry tomatoes because we like putting those in our salads and stuff. So we've got all these seeds that we're using right now for our cherry tomatoes until we run out, and then we'll eventually have to try and find a good one that matches what we've had in what we like. I've tried some other cherry tomatoes and they were way bigger, like double the size, and that's just too big. Like I want a nice little cherry tomato. So, all right, time in. You can get in here and we can get started. So our potting mix is, can't really see it, it's too dark, but it is very dry. So I'm going to fill with water.
When you put it like this, they could kind of see it.
Yeah. All right, we don't need a ton. I'm just gonna mix all this dried stuff in, let it soak up that water. You want your soil again to be very, not very, but like you want it like damp. You want it so that way there is moisture there. You don't want it sopping or like soaked. So a good amount of wetness.
You don't want mud.
Nope, you do not want mud. That is true. All right, you are good to go. That's a good mix. All right, so we are gonna try and grow. Here, do it over here. It's this row. Just the back three. So we are aiming to do 3 cherry tomatoes this year for the garden, and again, we don't know the variety, but the back 3 I said. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. I'm gonna fill that spot, but I just letting you know. So he's gonna do his plants. The boys, they each pick 2 plants that they raise from the beginning. As I'm trying to teach them how to garden, how to start plants, how to take care of plants, how to harvest. So they picked 2 plants each. He's picked tomato and watermelon as his plants.
We're really hoping that the watermelon doesn't die this year.
Yeah, we're hoping that the watermelon doesn't die this year. Just a little bit more, and you want to press them down, buddy. You want to make sure it's nice and compact. Yep. And so then bring it up higher, because we need to get like right near the top, like about here. So he's just putting in the soil, learning to compact it to make sure it's nice and tight. So that way there isn't going to be air pockets. The seeds have plenty of room for their roots to grow. Just do the first 3, but don't worry about that one. A little bit more. That's not high enough. So tomato is like a 1/4 inch depth for the seeds. At least that's what's recommended. So that's what we're aiming for. We just eyeball it. You can measure it. That's probably enough, but you don't want to go too tall. I just said you don't want to go too tall. Alright. Yep, that looks good for those 3 spots. So try and show it best I can. The problem is the lighting in this room is not very good. So there, just the back 3 here from this starting point are the 3 that he's doing. And
do you want me to turn this on, Dad?
No. Here, come on. Hold that. And then give me your other hand. So that's 4 roughly. Oop, that's a lot. Alright. So here you can set this down. Here, I'll hold that. Now put 2, like one in like kind of like each corner. Not all the way in the corner, but yeah. Alright, well, that's okay. You dropped one right next to each other, we'll just move it over. And the reason why we're doing 2, even though we're aiming for 3 actual total plants, is because just in case if we don't have germination. So we want to try and make sure that we are getting 3, and then we'll just clip and cut the other plant. Whatever one is not doing the best. Looking at some of our other plants, like there's literally like neither one's doing bad, but we're gonna have to cut one anyways because we got a little extra. All right, here, put the extra back in.
Kind of hurts since they're all so small.
Yeah, they are small. You should see the celery seeds. They're super tiny, like way tiny. Like they're like little pin drops. All right, now take this, grab some soil, put it on top here. Yeah, and just, yeah, lightly, we don't need to press down too hard, but lightly just make it go to the top. So that one's good, yeah. Yeah, break that up, yeah. A little bit more in that one, and just a tiny bit more in that one. Alright.
Then
Just
they
a
water
little
it.
bit. Yeah, you can do a little water. So we're just gonna water. You want to water it just to make sure everything is good. A little bit more. Okay. Good job. All right. Good job, buddy. All right, those are all set. So that's our random cherry tomato, and you can have it, buddy.
Also, if you know what that cherry tomato is, comment about it.
No one would know, buddy.
Oh.
So some of the other tomatoes that we are growing Amish paste tomatoes. Let's see, try and get the light a little bit better. Yeah. Amish paste tomatoes, Brandywine red tomato, the New Yorker tomato, the Valiant tomato. I don't know why I keep saying tomato. The San Marzano, Roma. So that's all the not peppers, the tomatoes that we are growing. We're growing some more Victoria rhubarb. We planted 5 last year, 3 100% died because I didn't mulch, I didn't cover the area, so they literally got burnt out. 2 did survive and had growth by the end of the year, but they haven't come back, so just so we want to replace the 3 that we lost, but I'm gonna grow a couple extra anyway, just in case the other ones didn't survive either. So we're doing that, and then for our herbs, we're doing some basil that we're gonna plant alongside our tomato plants, which is a good. Basil helps keep away some of the bugs, like especially like those big giant green like hornworms that like to eat everything. Chives, what is this? Oh, it's just chives. I don't know. It doesn't have a variety. Chives, Munstead lavender, and then Vera common lavender. So those are our other seeds that we're going to be starting, but I also wanted to cover some tips and kind of show some of the things that like I've learned even just this year alone of doing better when it comes to the plants. So my seedlings are probably doing the best I think I've ever had for me, and it's definitely due to making a lot of mistakes in the past and finally making some changes and getting to a point where I've got like the right equipment and also the right knowledge. And so trying to get the camera set up here. There we go. So here everything's doing really well. One thing that I've got different here, let me move this up real quick, is I've got these grow lights. I got 2 of them literally right next to each other, and I've got them low. So one of my problems that I've definitely done in the past is I had the light way too high and my seedlings just didn't really look healthy. Kind of like these, even though like the light is like literally like 5 inches above them, they're very leggy, but you can tell they're very white, especially down at the bottom here. Like their stalks are very white. That's definitely a good indication that they're like leggy. And the fact that they're kind of leaning, those are just, they're trying desperately to get really close to that light. So I might move these are eggplant, and move them a little bit closer to the light. I think they just might want more warmth and more heat. So I'm wondering if that's why they're trying to get towards the light and just trying to just get warmer. But I always watered from the top in the past, and sometimes I do water from the top, but for the most part I don't now, at least like this year with what I've got. I can show you, especially over here, like this is very, like, it's dried out. Like I haven't watered yet today because I wanted to wait for this video. But what I've been doing is I just move a tray out of the way, and I'll actually move the whole thing out of the way. I just have this giant, or not giant, but like a big water jug, and I am just filling this tray with water, and just then letting the plants just soak it up. And it's just made such a, I feel like it's made such a huge difference on the watering. Like the soil isn't getting pulled away, and you can literally watch, like, as the water like will literally go from being very dry to, you know, very, very damp, where you can tell. Like that's the plants that we just started, or the seeds that we just started now. And then here's like them being dry. Here's plants that like we watered individually earlier because they were very dry, and like they're very small, so we're trying to make sure we take care of them. But like it's literally starting to come up, especially in the back. They're really soaking in the water. It's starting to get damp. Like I can feel it now. Like it's not as dry. It's still gonna soak up some more. So I feel like that's really helped make a difference in the seed quality, with them being able to like get water when they need it. They just soak it up from the bottom. So if the soil doesn't need it, it just, you know, the trays just sit in the water, and that's no problem. So like that's been a huge difference, and it makes watering a lot easier instead of like going around with like a little canteen, like watering each one, and you know, especially trying to move and navigate between like the different plants, you know, trying to water in between things. It's just so much easier. You just pour the water into the spot and then just put the trays in, and they'll just soak up the water. And all my seedlings are doing so much better than previous years. Like I'm very excited about the strength that they all have going. Way better. So I've definitely learned a lot this year. I mean, each year, like I pick up, you know, make new mistakes, or learn from old ones. But I try and, like, if things don't grow well, I really try and do some more research. I try and figure out what I may have done wrong. Sometimes it's new information, other times it's like, oh yeah, that's right, like they need that, or whatever it might be. Like I just remember that like they needed something different that I didn't give them. So that is I think that's it, like for stuff that I've learned different for this year. We want to keep them nice and, you know, damp, so that way they have plenty of water. You want to give them light. These even have a fan on them, so it's giving like these some, helping them get a little bit of strength in their sprouting, their legs, or whatever you want to call it. So it's been a game changer this year, how well they've done. And let's see, I mean, trying to think of, I know there was, I was pretty sure there was another thing that like I wanted to cover that I feel like was doing way better. I've definitely been better about like different pot sizes. That is the other thing. So like all my plants, I always used to just start in like these really big cups, and I always just kept them in there. And some of the plants, like their roots just don't get that big and need that much space. So like it's a lot of empty, wasted kind of you know, potting mix, and a wasted space, which makes it harder to water. So I've been trying to get the right size. Like I've been starting most of my plants in the 16 trays. Some that like if I feel like they have good germination, like I don't need to worry about them, I'll start in the higher ones, like the broccoli and cauliflower over here. I started those right there in like these 4-cell trays. And because I've never had an issue with them germinating, and they're doing fantastic. They're doing great. So I started them in there, but pretty much everything else I've started in these 16 cell trays, and it's been great. Like, I wait until they get big, like where I start to see the roots at the bottom, and then it's like, all right, I need to transplant. So like the peppers, like I'm probably gonna be transplanting after this video. I'm gonna be up potting them. The onions have already gone through that process. They were in 16 trays, and now they're in 6 cell trays. So a little bit bigger, a little bit more space. I don't plan, as of right now, I don't plan on changing them again until they go into the garden. This should be their forever home until I get them outside. And I think this has also made a big difference, giving them the proper spacing that they need, the proper conditions. You know, if you've got a smaller cell, it's a lot easier to do it right. Where if you've got a bigger cell, a lot more soil, you're trying to keep wet and damp to grow, and they've got too much space, like it's hard to manage. So I think this just does a better job and an easier job to just start small and then up pot. It is more work. So there's definitely some things that, you know, if they do really well, like I won't start, but like onions have, for me at least, they have like not the most reliable germination rate. Peppers definitely are very particular. They need that heat. Eggplant need that heat. So for them, like I'll always continue to do that for them. But then anything else that I grow, like the celery was really intermittent on starting. So like I wouldn't start those in anything bigger. I would always start them in the 16 cell tray. But yeah, so those are just some tips to help do better. Just, you know, write things down, keep a journal, make notes of things that didn't go well, like as it's happening, so that way you don't wait till the end of the season and be like, all right, trying to recap. Like as you do stuff, make journal what you did, and then maybe even add a little commentary like, this didn't work out so well, or I don't think this is the best method, or whatever it might be. Just write it down, so that way when you go back and you read it for the next year, before the next year starts, you've got your own basis of things that you've done and what you can build upon with your equipment and your setup. Everyone has different lights, everyone uses different trays or cups or whatever. Everyone has a different setup. Like my setup's in the basement. Some people have their setup in a greenhouse. That's going to be completely different conditions. This is kind of cold down here. It's like in the maybe like 60, 65 maybe at best in my basement. So it is cooler down here. So a greenhouse is going to have better luck with a lot of different plants. And maybe that's why the eggplant is struggling, is because they really want that warmth. But I've always grown them in here and they've always done decent. So I'm just going to move those. But yeah, so work on just try and improve each year. Just get out there, try and grow some plants. Don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry about things dying or not growing that well. Just learn. Just try and figure out what could have been done better, and just make those changes for the next year and just continue to grow. No one's perfect or no one's great at anything when they first start. No matter how simple and easy the task is, like riding a bike. Like for an adult, that's easy to just go and pick up a bike, even if you haven't ridden a bike in forever. You can just go ride a bike. But like when you're a little kid and you're starting, like you're falling over. It's hard to learn that balance. Everyone's terrible at stuff when they first start. So just get out there, give it a whirl, start it, and enjoy the ride. Well, and with that, I guess we will say our goodbyes, and I'll catch you next time. Get out there, get planting. It's fun. It's so much fun. It's addicting. It's a problem. It really is. But thank you for watching, and continue supporting me in this journey. It's much appreciated. And I will catch you guys next time. Keep the imagination rolling. Bye-bye.